Hello, this is the Retro Tech 120p challenge, isn't it? I believe it is, yes! What is this? This is Pipe Dream. This is my selection for the week. There's going to be some long videos on this, I think. That's going to be exciting, isn't it? So what is the Retro Tech 120p challenge? I didn't hear you ask, because why would you be talking to a screen about a video, to a video? Well, let me answer your imaginary question that I've made up in my head, and that is this. It is a challenge where a group of middle-aged men will get together and say, you know what, we're going to play arcade games and we're going to see who's best at them. And usually that's not me. And what happens is that a game is selected once a week. As I say, this week is my choice from a wheel. It's a spun. It's an imaginary digital wheel. Everything is imaginary here. And then what happens is that if your name comes out, your game is picked. And then you see who's the best person at it. It's never me, at least not recently. And then we get to see who's the king champion, king swinging dick of the week. And you can enter if you want to join the Retro Tech 100 group. You can just do that, and then you look for the arcade challenge of the week. Join in, place your video. What you do is you can have as many goes as you want, then when you feel confident enough, you can go, all right, I'm going to start this challenge now. And then your first recorded run, that, children, is your run. And so yes, this is Pipe Dream. So what can I tell you about Pipe Dream? Well, it was also called Pipe Mania, and it came out in 1989, courtesy of LucasArts, I think it was. It came up at the beginning. I really should have seen that, shouldn't I? I think it was originally a computer game rather than the other way around. I could be wrong there. I'm wrong about a great many things. Yes, I think it came out. It came out on the Amiga and the Atari ST under the name Pipe Mania. And it's as you can see, it's a puzzle game, and the idea is obviously that you lay down all these pipes under a very strict time limit from that green goo, and the green goo, should they reach the end of the pipe and you don't lay enough pipes down before you get to the exit, that's it. You've lost a life. As you can see here, I laid down 43 pipes, and that was more than enough, because I think the amount I had to get was 14. So yeah, very good start that. But yeah, it came out on the Amiga in 1989, and then after that it came out on a lot of other formats. It came out on the Electron, the arcade, this one. It came out on the Amstrad, the Apple II, the BBC, the Commodore 64, the Game Boy, the Apple Mac, the NES, and the good old ZX Spectrum, along with Windows in 1991. So yeah, it was very good, isn't it? I think the arcade game was made by a Japanese manufacturer called Video System Co. under license from Lucasfilm. But as I say, what you have to do is you get all these pipe pieces, and you get like a strict time limit in which to maneuver around your little bits there. As you can see now, the slime has started gushing through the pipes there, which is worrying time for all when your goo starts gushing from the pipes. And obviously as it goes round, you have to get, as I say, to a certain amount of pipes before it lets you finish. So you can't just go from in a straight line towards the I don't know what you call it, the valve to the end. You have to do a certain amount of lines first. A lot of the time you'll just end up doing it accidentally. As you can see there, I've got 25 pipes down. That's more than enough to cover those 18. So that is that level done. So 2 down. So yes, you use hang on. Let's read the gameplay things, because we're in for a bit of a long time with this one. As I say, there's going to be a lot of long videos. So this one's going to actually be 35 minutes long. You get less for getting married or crimes. One of the two. So using a variety of pipe pieces presented randomly in a queue, the player must construct a path from the start piece for the onrushing sewer slime, or flues, The 1991 Windows version help files refer to its GUI, which begins flowing after a time delay from the start of the round. The player can keep clicking the same square to change the pipe pieces. You may have seen that already. The flues is required to pass through a given number of pipe pieces in order for the player to pass to the next round. It's not puzz in this. Some rounds also include an end piece, which must be the end of the pipeline that the player has constructed, in addition to fulfilling the minimum pipe length requirement. I used to know a girl who had a minimum pipe length requirement. Naturally, I didn't pass muster. Completing the sewer pipeline in the time allotted allows the player to advance to the next level, which means a shorter interval from the start of the round until the flue starts flowing, as well as faster flowing flues. On higher levels, some special pipe pieces appear in the game, such as reservoirs, one-way sections and bonus sections. Obstacles and wraparound sections also appear on the game board on higher levels. I can tell you, they're not that much higher. Have they started to appear already? Yes, they have. If a player is able to finish a level using the 5 cross-section pieces and filling them both ways, a 5,000 bonus points are awarded. I think the arcade one is slightly different there. There were later versions of this that came out. There was a PlayStation one in 2000 titled Pipe Dreams 3D. There's been a lot of clones of this game as well. You might have played one of the clones. So let's go through them. Wall Pipe, Oil Cap Pro, Mac Pipes. I wonder what that machine that's for. Pipe Master, Pipe Works, Dragon Snot. That's a good name. Pipe Night Dreams and Fun to Link. And there was also a macabre interpretation called Troubled Souls that was released on the Apple Macintosh in 1994, so I would imagine that was a bit gross. There is also an open source clone named Vodavod, available for both Windows and Linux operating systems. Many Nokia cell phones come with a free version of the game called Canal Control. Do they? Has anyone still got a Nokia? So there was a remake as well that came out in 2008. Empire released that for the PC, PlayStation 2, Wii, Nintendo DS and PlayStation Portable. And it was also available for the iPhone, courtesy of publishers Virtual Programming and Robosoft, and was released as an application in July 2009. There is a version of this in BioShock presented to the player as a means of hacking machinery. Within Alien Swarm, there is a simplified version of Pipe Mania akin to the one in BioShock. So when this was reviewed in 1994 in Dragon issue 211, I don't know what that is. I'm going to stop reading now from this this Pipe Mania Lucasfilm game fandom page and just concentrate on the game for a bit. I mean, I could do the animal fact, but we are like only 8 minutes in and there's still quite a long time to go. I'm going to have to be like Christian on his Real Generic Demon channel and find something interesting to talk about, really, because his videos go on for like an hour, his Spectrum ones and his truck ones sometimes. And how he managed to fill that time, I do not know. It is beyond my ability, as you're finding out. So yes, I mean, on-screen action isn't like the most enthralling, and in fact, I can see a lot of these videos struggling this week. But one thing I will say about Pipe Mania, and I wonder if you'll agree, is now there's a famous piece of music that makes people feel anxious. And that is the bit when you're underwater in Sonic the Hedgehog, or any one of the Sonic the Hedgehog games. Now, I think Pipe Mania's music, when the slime is coming out, might even top that for how anxious it makes you feel. There's going to be a few people cursing my name about this game. One, because it's a puzzle game, and two, because it's probably going to make a lot of people feel incredibly anxious. When I was playing this, I swear to God, I was swearing. My heart was racing as if I'd just seen Scarlett Johansson jump out of a shower with an axe in her face. That went from erotic to very disturbing very quickly. But when I say axe, I mean she had a can of axe in her mouth, as in lynx. What the Americans call lynx. So, shame on you. Yes. Why she had that in her mouth, I don't know. Because she wanted to put it on my bum. Yes. So, yeah, the music in this game will leave your teeth right on the edge there. I'm not sure on the edge of what, but some sort of anxiety precipice of some sort. So what are your memories of this game, if you had any? The reason I chose this is because I had a demo, I think, with your Sinclair once, and I thought it was great. I just played the demo again and again because it didn't have any of these bloody. It was a short demo, and it was just like you could mess around with the pipes. It was quite chilled out. This is not chilled out because it didn't have any of like the extra contraptions on it. It was just basically here's like the game, the basic concept of the game, make a big thing, and I used to try and fill up the entire screen. Now, whether that means I'm going to be better than some people this week or not, I don't know. I know the arcade game, I feel, is a lot harder earlier on, I think, than the computer counterparts, which makes sense because it's an arcade game. They want you to have you go and then piss off and go and play like the Zaxxon or some such, or go and eat crisps somewhere. One of the crisp flavours that perhaps they don't make anymore. Tomato ketchup. Speaking of crisps, now, kettle chips, are they different from when you were a kid? Now, you might not have had them when you were a kid because you might not have had any class. But kettle chips, when I was a kid, when they had, there was on the packet, there was a man with a beard, and he looked like he had like trousers built into his shoes. And I swear to God that whatever fat they used with those crisps made them taste divine. Now, I think that kettle chips are still really good, but they are nowhere near as good as they were back in the 90s. And that's not nostalgia talking. Yes, wagon wheels are smaller than they were. Yes, your quality street tin has less contents. And not even just down to Brexit. It is literally the corporations are a bunch of dicks. So yeah. So shall we do the animal fact now? Let's get that out of the way, and then I can find something else to waffle on about. So with this game, obviously the animal quintet is quite low. I could talk about the sex lives of firemen, which is easy. Even the fat ones get laid by like beautiful women because they're wearing a uniform. But I will not do that. I'm going to talk about something that exists, that's known to exist in pipes a lot, and that is rats, because we haven't covered rats yet. And maybe I'm using this too early. Maybe there's like a horror game or some other game. They're always an enemy in games, and maybe I should be saving it for that. But at some point, I'm going to have to stop doing these because I'm going to run out of animals. So yes, anyway, so rats have a similar physiological. Start again. I could say words in real life. I'm a real boy. Rats have a similar Can I say it? Rats have a similar physiological reactions to humans when it comes to sex, and perhaps also to orgasm. In fact, a good deal of what we know about what happens in our brains during orgasm comes from laboratory rats. While much of what happens in the brain, I can read directly from the screen, I swear, during human orgasm remains a mystery. I didn't even get that right. While much of what happens in the brain during human orgasm remains a mystery, decades of research by scientists have helped unravel some of the secrets. One of the main reasons why the aspects of research have advanced so much so far is the use of animals in research. So there you go. So what is an orgasm? Well, the biggest difficulty in studying orgasms in animals is the subjective nature of the experience. I think I'm reading like a science journal. This might not be top fun. I'm going to scroll down to get the dirty bits. It is a frequent mistake to assume that orgasms coincide with ejaculation. I am, in fact, reading about human ejaculation. Let's go to the animals. Who cares about human sex, apart from all of us? Right. So how do rats have sex then? Okay, so the female chooses which male to attract and when. I mean, that's pretty much like us, isn't it? She actively encourages the male to chase her by running towards the male and then abruptly turning and running away. Now, I've got problems with that. If you use that in a human way, chaps, if a woman is running away, please don't try to have sex with her. Anyway, she arches her back when the male touches her flanks to invite consummation. Now, I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Yes, I'm going to go with yes, because I've watched plenty of Shannon Tweed Channel 5 erotic shows, and she was a very big back archer. She used to do it in front of like net curtains, and it was like there's like slight wind blowing, and the man, because all the Shannon Tweed soft erotic porn films that were on Channel 5 were from the early 90s, he would always invariably have like a long black hair or a mullet of some sort, and she would get on top of him with her big plastic breasts, and she would grind away to satisfaction. They'd have a sheet covering their unmentionables. That's the her vagina and his cock. Was that unmentionable a minute ago? Anyway, she would do some very dramatic sex moves that no normal human does, really. If you see someone doing that, video it, but also they're not normal. So this cycle will repeat. Oh, we got off topic here. So she arches her back when the male touches her flanks to invite consummation. The cycle repeats until the male ejaculates, which is fair. Now, it doesn't repeat that often because some rodents can ejaculate in less than 10 seconds, which, again, is perfectly normal. Yes. So yeah, there we go. That is the rat sex facts, and guess how long we've got left to go? We're about halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. So yeah, I'm going to be really unpopular with this because it's going to have a lot of people make their videos, and they're going to be, oh, am I going to lose a life? I did. Look, I lost a life finally, like halfway in. Yeah, I'm not going to be very popular with anyone. Because this is one, it's going to make everyone feel anxious, and two, there's going to be some really long goes where people have to think of what to say. Now, Anthony, God bless him, who's he's becoming quite the I don't know, what's the right word for it? The potential usurper of Retro 48K's crown. Anthony, who's he's a Raven Gaming. He's long since given up doing voiceovers on his challenge videos. I think probably because he realises that it's very easy to run out of things to say, particularly when it's this long. But also because for a while he had that alarm that went off in his room, and occasionally just go beep beep like a robot bird. But he's assured me that that's no longer the case. Please do check out his channel. If you want to see what he's like, I did a video about 3 or 4 months ago about Commodore versus Spectrum conversions, and which was the better of the two on various games. We both chose games that we know or knew would be good for our respective formats. I was, of course, representing the ZX Spectrum, and he was representing the Commodore 64, and he made a very decent case for that machine not being terrible, which is true. We've all played different games when we were younger. We all had a little playground wars, but ultimately we've all grown up now and can all admit that Commodore 64 is a piece of shit. I don't mean that. I've played some really good games on that recently, actually, not on the channel, but my flatmate has got one of those Commodore 64 minis, and I've downloaded the games I want to on it, and I've been playing it a lot. In fact, I bought it for him, but he doesn't use it That's the cunning thing. Same with the NES Classic. I bought my son the NES Classic. He never played it. Oops, looks like I'm inheriting that after giving you a really decent present. Yeah, so it is Christmas coming up if you're watching this when it's been made. And I've long since stopped loving Christmas. I know Retro 48K is different. He loves Christmas. He's already put his decorations up, which is, yeah, perfectly fine. You're in the right week there to put them up. You can put them up as early as you like, really. We're all making personal choices. But I've long since stopped enjoying Christmas. I think it's forced fun. I can't even have fun because basically what it is I go around my mum's because my son spends it with his mum. And their family, and I go around my mum's, and basically I wake up at whenever o'clock. I open presents I don't want anymore because it's all just going to be socks or links or I don't know, some crap like that. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I am ungrateful because they keep buying me shite. I can buy what I want. Christmas isn't any fun. Come on, when you're a kid, Christmas is about presents, and bollocks to anyone that says it's about family when they're a child. They only care about the presents. However, I've found out my son doesn't even care about that. I don't know what's happened to him, but all these people that were saying, okay, you might have fallen out of love with Christmas, but when your son's old enough, and he got to about the age of 4, and I was waiting for him to go, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind getting this, but he doesn't. He doesn't care. It's really strange. The only game I've heard him mention that we haven't got him is Fortnite, and that's because his mum doesn't want him to play online games at the moment. And he completely trusts my judgment with games now. I will buy him a game and he will play it. And he never says, oh, I want this game, I want that game. He's not one of those kids that walks around the shopping centre or around B&M or whatever going, oh, look at this. Oh, isn't this good? Ooh, have you seen this? He doesn't do that. He just sort of ignores it all. So that excitement I was proposed that I was going to get at Christmas from, living vicariously through my son and thinking about, oh, I was a bit like that at your age. He doesn't do it. So he's never going to like Christmas. Unless his son's different, I don't know. But sorry, I had my microphone turned down low, so I might have to really ramp up the sound when I actually put this on the video. So, in terms of Christmas, I couldn't give less of a shit about it. It is especially pointless. Well, it's not pointless. I get it. It's a big commercial sandstorm. And by the way, keep an eye on that pipe there, which I've put facing the wrong way because I get it all ready, and then I only realise I can't read between. I can't tell the difference between in and out as words. It's a 2 and a 3-letter word respectively, and I don't notice like a dickhead. And the slime comes out, and I instantly die. Oh, hang on, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. That was a different screen altogether. But anyway, back to Christmas. So Christmas is I obviously, like every child. When they knew they were going to get a Scorponok or a Castle Grayskull or a Spectrum or an NES, those were all things that I got, and a Mega Drive. Loved Christmas up until about the age of 12, and then I just got, don't really like this now. It's forced fun. It's like you have like this sort of mandated time in which you do stuff, and everyone in every house is doing it in the same order you are. And it's weird, and it makes me feel creepy. And Chris on Retro 48K actually pointed out that if you look at kind of power surges, we all have food at the same time, generally, and it made me feel very uncomfortable and existentially dreadful, much like this game. But I don't know. At least I'm not supposed to be having fun on a Wednesday night in like October. But I'm supposed to have fun, and if I don't have fun, I'm a Grinch. And it's like, well, I can't force myself to enjoy something I don't enjoy. And in terms, and like, and they say, well, you can't let other people not enjoy it. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm not. But I'm sort of saying that I don't really into it. And and the worst bit of Christmas is when you go back to work and everyone asks the same bloody thing every time. Did you have a good Christmas? And there's no right answer to that. Well, the right answer is, oh yes, yeah, it was very good. How was yours? And they go, oh, it was fine. And that's the most pointless conversation of the year, is the first day you go back to work after Christmas. Did you have a good Christmas? Because, like, there's a lot of people who commit suicide at that time of year. So, you could end up getting a bad one. There's another life gone. No, my uncle killed himself. I mean, how awful would they feel? So, I'm either giving you empty information or information that's going to make you feel terrible. So can we collectively, as a race about Christmas, please stop asking, did you have a good Christmas? Because it is the most bland, nothingy question that is possible for one human to say to another one. Did you have a good Christmas? No. No, I didn't. And I've started doing that, actually. I've started saying, yeah, it's the same as every year. I hate it. And then I'm a Grinch. You can't call me a Grinch because Christmas is over. So yeah, I'm shooting on Christmas today. Good. However, I mean, this one has potential to be different for me because working in the pharmacy, retail and logistics over my entire lifespan, I'm no longer in that, and the workload, which usually, in every single job I've done so far, has ramped up before now. My workload at work is actually getting lighter, and I find that really weird. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe it's the jobs I've been in, which is the reason that I haven't enjoyed Christmas. Although I didn't have a job when I was 13, so I don't know. But I'm looking forward to all the lounging about like you normal folk do. I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? But yeah, other things I don't like about Christmas. So I can't work out why I died there. The food. Right, okay, let's run through it. Mince pies, shit. First continue down, by the way. Look at that. What else is shit? Yule log, that's alright, I guess. Christmas cake, shit. Turkey. Oh, I love a good turkey. Do you? How often do you have it a year? Oh, just at Christmas. Oh, you really love it then? Most of what's in a Quality Street tin. Shit. It's shit chocolate. We'll just munch it because it's there. But like, in roses as well. Can we just get rid of roses and Quality Street? Because they're shit. Like, I'm sorry, but if you put a human being, right, in front of 3 tubs, one's roses, one is Quality Street, and the other one is Heroes, you tell me which one of those is going first. It's going to be emptied first. It's not going to be the roses, it's not going to be the Quality Street. We just buy these things out of bloody-minded, bloody traditionalism. And you know what I hate about the human race most of all, I'm having a bit of a rant, is people obsessing with tradition. It's dead people's baggage. Let's just move on as a society, get rid of traditions. I don't like them. There's other things we can do. Instead of having like a big week-long holiday where we all have a week off in the cold in December, let's do it in the summer instead, where we can go out and do stuff instead of just sitting indoors growing corpulently fat watching crap telly from the bloody 1970s and like going, oh, what film's on this year? It doesn't matter, you've got Netflix, just go and watch that. The film you're watching on the bloody BBC has been out for like forever. I remember last year, BBC One, right, and it really rankled me this time last year. It really annoyed me, and it shouldn't have done because I wasn't going to watch it anyway. But it really, really, really annoyed me, and I didn't watch it. But they showed Kung Fu Panda 1, Kung Fu Panda like the special, and the Christmas special, and then they showed Kung Fu Panda 3. It's like, Just show number 2. I don't care what the rights are. Just don't show any of it. And they've played all these in a row, but apart from number 2. And that, I don't know why, I stared at that and felt some sort of like conscious rage about it. And it's such a pathetic thing to get annoyed about. But the Christmas experience is that. It's just a perennial disappointment. And you might think differently. And that is your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But I'm also entitled to tell you you're wrong. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of Christmas. What do I like about Christmas? Okay, so I do like the fact that there are nearby we have like an ice rink that's put up every year, and they have a little pub next to it that sells mulled cider. And I don't really like mulled cider, but it's alcohol. And it's different alcohol, and I'm freezing cold, and I'm sat next to an ice rink, so it helps. So there's that. Having said that, I do own like about 9 Christmas jumpers because I'm a huge hypocrite. I mean, I'm sorry to have let out all my strong feelings about the most wonderful time of the year, TM. Oh, we haven't even talked about Christmas music, have we? Oh dear God. Now, I remember, this tradition of Whamageddon. I used to work in a record shop called H&V, as I'm sure you're aware. Was one of the biggest record shops. Now they just sell Funko Pops. However, big up H&V for still existing on the high street when like other things have closed. A DVD and CD shop is still on the high street. Imagine that. They've got to be doing something good. They're not. They're just selling Funko Pops. And records. Vinyl. If you're into that, brilliant. Well done. Well done for having, like, pretentious taste in media. God, I'm on a soapbox, aren't I? How many viewers am I going to lose through this? The anti-vinyl, anti-Christmas soapbox. Christmas music. So, anyway, HMV. How long have I got left to rant? 3 minutes. Good. So, HMV. I was playing Whamageddon long before the rest of you. So Whamageddon, I think, is an invention that's come out in the last 15 years. I've been doing this since like 2002, and it wasn't that I try and avoid. It was because, it's one of the better songs. That, to be fair, last Christmas I gave you My Heart. That's one of the better ones, honestly. Out of all the songs, that's one of the better ones. The one I hate is the Slade one. And I would make it a contest every year to avoid that song, and I set myself a challenge, and I'd get other people involved in HMV with it. And because I was in a senior position for most of my time there, I completely vetoed any Christmas music being played up until the last week because I'm not putting myself through that. And here goes another life. So I would do that. I would veto all use of Christmas music until the last week. But yeah, I used to do it with Slade. And one year I managed to get all the way, even though I worked in a record shop, I managed to get all the way I know what it was. I managed to get all the way until the Doctor Who Christmas special. It was whatever year David Tennant started, so like 2007, something like that. He was obviously Christopher Eccleston left, and then he joined, and it was that Christmas. So yeah, 2006, 2007 Christmas special. So I did that. I got all the way there, and then they played it in the episode, and I was furious because I thought I was going to make it through the whole of Christmas without hearing it, and I made it to the evening of Christmas because everyone knows those CDs go away. They go away on Boxing Day, and they don't get heard of again. So yes, that's that. Christmas songs infuriating. The whole package is just frustratingly repetitive, and there's one thing I don't like: it's frustratingly repetitive. Like a puzzle game that goes on for 35 minutes. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to start this as being an anti-Christmas rant, and I'm sure you've all got, you've all probably have brilliant Christmases that are completely different from how I'm describing it, rather than the Truman Show escapade of forced fun that it is every year. And I do apologise if that's the case, but suck it. Am I going to die? I think this might be the end. Is it? Well, I'm going into a bloody wall, so I presume it is. Well, that's awful news, isn't it? So yes, that's it for this week. What did we have? We had Pipe Mania. We had talk about rat sex, and we had a massive rant about Christmas. Some of which you'll agree with, but probably not at all. Anyway, thanks for putting up with me for over half an hour, and if you've made it this far, please do join the Retro Tech group, and Kay, thanks, bye!